Okay, we are looking at the last part of your WA2 for geography. Okay, it's an essay question. Sadly, it's not very well done. I think because many of you did not study your content. Okay, a lot of you have no idea what congestion is, and the worst is that instead of telling me impact, you're telling me about other things. Okay, now let's walk through this. The question asks you increased congestion. That's one of the start point. Is the most damaging impact of tourism on a destination country. So I cannot talk about how you excuse me, how does it affect other people, how does it affect other countries. I can only talk about how it affects the destination. Okay, now I need to clarify here. Impact, what does it mean? When I say impact of tourism, it means tourism leads to certain impacts or effects. Okay, just like you learn in social studies, impact of globalization. Globalization is basically how globalization, after it happens really, what does it lead to? What kind of effects does it lead to? Okay, now what many of you do is you tell me the impact on tourism. That means something happened leads to how it affects tourism. Okay, so as you can see, you are not answering the question at all. All right, so what many of you did was you took from here, disasters can lead to less tourists visiting the place, impact on tourism. But no, my question is asking you the impact of tourism. Excuse me. So you need to really answer the question. Okay, so what are the impacts as seen here in your notes? Okay, so increased congestion refers to the clogging of things. The place is very clogged up with a lot of people or things, so it's actually an environmental impact. Okay, locals living space. All right, so that increased congestion. All right, so you need to tell me this, then you are able to hit L2. Now you should always strive to you should strive to talk about the given start point as much as possible. Okay, so let's write this out. All right, first answer the question, is this true? This can be true. Why? Now give me a thesis statement, okay, or your point in your PU format that some of you follow. Okay, now whichever essay you write, regardless of what subject, and even when you go out to work, you should always start with a thesis statement. A thesis statement is to tell me overall what the whole paragraph is about. Okay, so what am I going to show? I'm going to show that increased congestion is a damaging impact. So I write out this can be true as increased congestion is a damaging impact of tourism on a destination country. Okay, so this is my statement. I'm going to show in the whole paragraph what this is about. All right, so what are the points? This is the effect of tourism. I must start with tourism. Due to tourism, what did tourism do? Okay, you can use all these points over here. Okay, some places may attract large tourists, but then they are not able to. Okay, and then as a result, the place becomes crowded with traffic, prevents movement. The locals will do inconvenience, stress due to caused by congestion. See, congestion. All right. So crowded until this is definition of congestion, and I'm showing why is it a negative. Now if you are not why is it damaging? Excuse me. Now if you're not confident that they understood that this is damaging, then add this in to start your explanation. Copy from the question. This is a damaging impact on tourism, okay, on the destination country. Okay, why is it that? Because locals will be inconvenienced and may face stress. Okay, then you want to go on to explain how it has a longer term effect, then you can put this in as a result. Okay, now some of you forgot to quote examples. The question asks you for evidence. All right, now relevant example, so you can give example. For example, okay, in Bangkok, Thailand, or maybe I can talk about in Kyoto, Japan. Okay, the surge of tourists during the peak seasons. Peak seasons means there's a lot of people going lah. Okay, led to a congestion of the local public bus services and the public roads and its famous attractions. As a result, the locals could. So what are the inconveniences? And how does it prevent movement? As a local result, locals cannot visit these places and have difficulty getting around the city. Okay, then that would be a perfect L2. All right, now let me show the other side. Okay, if I say this is not true, why? Because there are others that's more damaging. Okay, this is not true, as there are more damaging. This can also be false, as what else could be a damaging impact? Okay, so now the question didn't say most damaging environmental impact, so I can talk about other impacts actually. Okay, so you want to talk about littering, you want to talk about vandalism, you want to talk about increased crime, go ahead. Okay, but the same thing, talk about, give me the details, and then go on to explain why it is damaging. Now the note says negative, you need to tweak it to talk about damaging. Okay, and mostly you need to talk about, the question asks about destination country. Okay, so things like this one, worsen global climate change, this is not about the destination country, so I cannot use this growing carbon footprint. Okay, as for this, for example, this one affects the tourism operators only. Unless I'm able to explain how it affects the destination country, this explanation needs to be expanded a bit further. Okay, so things like this also. This is about local area, a part of the natural the country. So you need to go on to expand about the country itself. Okay, then if you want to talk about this one, okay, it talks about the whole economy. So whole economy is about the whole country, so it's perfectly fine. I can just copy and paste this. Okay, so be clear what you want to argue and analyze the question, please. No point no point rushing through and then end up writing a lot of nonsense that doesn't give you any marks. Okay, so what else do I need? Because the question asks most damaging. Okay, most means I need to compare at least 3, so I need to pick 2 other factors, 2 other impacts. Okay, so for example, I can pick let me just give an example. Okay, you can pick any of the relevant ones. I may want to talk about dilution. Okay, dilution of local custom heritage can also damage, is also damaging. Follow the question, is also a damaging impact. This one. Okay, then I give you the details and explain. Okay, this is a damaging impact because. Okay, then I can go to the last one. This can also be false. As I pick another one, okay, maybe I want to choose destruction of habitat. Okay, let me demonstrate to you how I can explain this. As destruction of habitat is also a damaging impact of tourism. Okay, so the details I'll copy from here. You go and fix it yourself lah. Okay, let me explain. This is a damaging impact because I can copy this. Okay, now as it says, only a specific area. I haven't really talked about the whole country, so I might expand this to the country. Okay, so this damaging impact because when the habitats are destroyed, flora and fauna will be recovered. Okay, flora and fauna in these places can become endangered, even extinct. So how does it affect the whole country? As a result, the country may lose its ecological value, ecological system. Okay, or if you want to link it to, you can link it to many ways as long as you talk about the whole country. Or the country will lose its biodiversity. Okay, or unique flora and fauna that may form the country's identity may be lost forever. Or you want to link it to economic. Okay, the country will attract less tourists as the flora and fauna is no longer an attraction. okay, resulting in lesser income for the country. Okay, so there are many possible ways to explain. As long as it makes sense, we'll give you the mark. Okay, so I hope this gives you a better idea. All right, you really need to know your content. Do you need to be able to memorize every single word? No. Okay, as I mentioned before in class, focus on understanding the key points. In your head, you must play animation. All right, for me, there's a video. I must remember Mr. Law, he's memorizing. So what I do is that when I see this, right, I have a video in my head. What do tourists do that will then destroy the habitat? And I make sure I know the keywords to write it out. Okay, so please don't blindly memorize. Please understand so that you're able to pull apart the question and make sure you answer to the question without writing too much. All right, I hope this helps you understand. Okay.